Auzubillahiminash-shaytanir-rajeem. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. Assalamu-alaikum. Ji ayanu, pakhair ni hao, chunashumme, washmale, ohaya gonzaimas, guten morgen, hola, bonjour, privyet, kaifa hal, hale shuma chatore, ahlan wa sahlan, marhaba, buna, mucho, gracias, swabia, bhali kare aaya. And your ones are?
Well, I think you said all of them. Welcome to Well This Morning, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you all are having a great morning. This person right next to me happens to be, well, the driver of the show, I want to say, in terms of energy and whatnot. He is your very favorite Shahzad Khan, and I am Shaza Hashmi.
Wow.
Yet another beautiful morning in Islamabad.
Yep.
And, well, beautiful, yes, but also sort of
challenging.
Yes, challenging and catastrophic in some regions as well.
Yeah, true.
I'm saying that because in our sector, I feel like last night when we were all sleeping, we did receive some floods.
Yeah, exactly. And
the roads are ruined.
And we have been talking about it as well. You know, just yesterday we were in conversation with DG. We met Pakistan as well, and he was kind of very kind that he kind of told everybody that, okay, you know, which regions will be affected by the monsoon rains as well. But monsoon, ladies and gentlemen, is in its full swing as well, and a lot of people have a lot of difficulty in going to their workplaces as well. So for everybody who's actually watching us right now and they're in Islamabad, because this is something which I was thinking while I was coming towards office, and that was that, you know, a lot of people might be thinking that, you know, it's going to be a normal journey today from home to work, but it's not. Because a lot of the roads over here in Islamabad, even though, you know, Islamabad is a very planned city, and as soon as the rain's going to stop, the flooding is going to go away as well. Yes. But a lot of streets, roads are full or filled up with water, and a lot of people are splashing water onto a lot of other people as well. So please don't do that. You know, this is one thing which I wanted to say to everybody, that, you know, everybody will be late, a little late. Yes. For all of those people who are bosses today, please make sure that you give them that leverage, because it was raining and it wasn't that easy to kind of have access to workplace as well. Please make sure that you're kind to them, give them another extra 30 minutes so that they can reach in time. If somebody goes beyond 30 minutes, I mean, it's not flooding as in, God forbid, the way it's flooding in China or Europe or elsewhere as well in these days as well. So please make sure to be kind. That's it. Shiza, when we say to be kind, what comes to your mind in the first place?
Okay, I was not expecting this one. I was really preparing on the next one. Well, thank you for asking that. I feel like kindness is a virtue, and why, at the risk of sounding so basic and so, well, I want to say, sort of, well, not really informed as well in terms of what kindness is, I think it comes from within. It is a feeling you only get if your heart is that pure. I mean, not everyone gets that, Shahzad, to be kind to one another, to actually realize the purpose why you have been sent to the world, to actually realize the humanity word, why you are so different than the other creations of Allah Almighty, and how you can actually practice that virtue from within. Well, I don't know, man.
Wow, that was such a beautiful answer. Like I wasn't even expecting that as well, which is why, ladies and gentlemen, it makes the two of us worthy of being on this sofa as well. And you know, since you said that, you know, that your answer is going to be very basic, I think kindness is a very basic trait. It really needs to be a very basic characteristic of every human which is out there. I mean, these days we are really short on it as well, and I want people to be, please, kind of, you know, look in yourself, make sure that you're good to people, that you kind of, you know, take healthy decisions for people. If somebody's asking for a recommendation, a suggestion, be kind to them. I mean, give them whatever you have learned from your life, tell them that, hey, you know what, I went through this. I mean, probably if you want to listen to this, that's your choice, but that's me being honest with you. So at least being honest, I think, is one of the facets of being really kind as well.
Yes, but while...
But not all the time, you know. You cannot be honest all the time as well.
Okay, yeah, but here's the thing. I think while kindness is such a small and easy word, but to actually practice it requires a lot of patience and tolerance for that matter. It requires a very high level of character for that matter. Kindness is not for everyone. While we all might aspire to be kind to each other, I don't think it's for everyone. This is where lately I feel like we're so quick at jumping at conclusions, Shahzad, at judgments, and you know, pulling each other's leg, bringing people down. Well, I don't know why that's happening, but I wish kindness takes over.
Wow, and inshallah it will. You know, people like me, you, Jamshed Sahib, everybody over here in the studios are very kind people as well, and that's what we want as well. But other than that, you know, just yesterday, you know, I was wondering that a lot of people kind of, if they inbox me, you know, they might be inboxing you as well, slipping into your DMs and asking, hey, you know, what's your skin routine? Please, can you tell us your skin's so flawless? you glow too much and whatnot. What do you say to them?
So it's a girl's thing. I feel like it's a girl's thing. A lot of girls.
I mean, it's a man's thing these
Instagram
days as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So I am very honest to them. I tell them it's all makeup, to be very honest.
Okay.
Because I don't think everyone is that blessed. And in my case, I do tell them the real thing. I don't have a skincare routine other than exfoliating and washing my face with a face wash. That's it.
Wow.
So I tell them, if you're talking about the glow, I did not wake up like this. Do not put yourself down in terms of comparison.
Yeah.
But I have to talk about one more thing. It's so funny. Just this morning, I was on Twitter and I read this thing where two of the best actors in Hollywood, Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher, said that they don't like the idea of bathing, like shower. They feel like if my kids don't seem dirty, I won't bathe them. And same is the case with me. Wow. Exactly, that was my face.
How many times do you actually see germs roaming around yourself as well? Once you're done bathing, that's when you really need to see the hole where all the dust is going in. It's just all dark or black.
Absolutely. Almost. But I felt like it's summer, right? I mean, it's summer everywhere in the world. You're sweating each and every single day. Yeah. And even if you are tweeting from the US, I mean, temperatures are getting pretty high over there as well. So it makes me wonder why some people wouldn't be probably that careful about their own body, where we say your body is your temple, right? And I think in terms of us, our faith actually revolves a lot around cleanliness and pakizgi. So I think it actually matters for us a lot.
Half of it is hygiene, ladies and gentlemen. But, you know, alhamdulillah, we should be always thankful to Allah Almighty that, you know, Allah has actually blessed us with skins where we really do not even have to put up a moisturizer. And that's how you need to be thankful as well. But you should, obviously. And I have said it a lot of times on the show as well, and that is that, you know, that a lot of people are actually spending their fortunes in making themselves look younger, you know, getting rid of the wrinkles, you know, hydrofacials, lasers and whatnot. You know, the aesthetic industry is booming and growing as well. But nobody is going to apply a ₹500 sunblock onto themselves as well, which is going to save them from a lot of problems. But since we have an expert over here, you know, an expert of such a kind who's actually got an experience of more than 2 decades, have actually served in the Middle East as well. And so we were lucky enough to get our hands onto her as well. And just because it's monsoon, it's summertime, a lot of people are sweating, melasma, pigmentation. There are a lot of problems. People want to kind of look for the solutions. So today, ladies and gentlemen, all the solutions are over here in the studios with us. She happens to be a consultant dermatologist, and she is Dr. Attiya Tareen. Hello, ma'am. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me over.
Thank you very much for joining us. Wonderful to have you. And how important, you know, this is a question which I always ask my sisters as well. How important it is for a dermatologist to have a flawless skin?
It is extremely important. I think it is a very pertinent question because all the clients or the patients you have, they will, first of all, they will look at your skin. Yes. And then assume how much qualified you are. they will not look at your, you know, the whole...
Degrees and
everything. Yeah.
Wow, wonderful. Yeah. Thank you very much for answering that. So, ma'am, before we kind of pose a question to you, we want you to kind of share the most common challenges people are facing related to their skin within this season. You know, maybe summer, maybe monsoon, you know, because people have different types of skins. And, you know, it's hard to understand what to really do or what kind of solutions to pick up for.
Okay. Thank you very much, Azad. But if you leave it to me, I think I will keep on talking.
Sure, go ahead.
So you have to basically interfere in between.
Yeah. Okay.
So basically, I think the common thing first, most of the women and the men these days, they're having the pigmentation issues on their face. And the pigmentation issues, they can be because of the melasma, that is known as chaya in in our language. And at the same time, pigmentation because of the application of wrong products and over-the-counter products. So OTC products, they're available very cheap, so you can just like go and buy them and apply it on your face, and then you develop redness. And every time you develop redness, always remember, it will lead to pigmentation. So even if you get sunburn, you get any kind of reaction because of the drugs, it will lead to pigmentation. So its first message is that avoid using over-the-counter products. All the more reason because they contain steroids as well. So a cream that may be very famous for leading to whiteness of your skin, but by the end, or anti-aging, yes. By the end of the day, you will develop hair on your face, and then you'll be asking and seeking advice for hair removal on your face.
Okay, ma'am, while we're at it, sorry, Shiza, while we're at it, because, I mean, I really need to kind of get to know what melasma is. So is it like, you know, when you go to a foreign country, you see a lot of people have those chote kale dots as well.
Yes.
But it's considered to be very beautiful and pretty. And
Are
people are actually getting all of those spots tattooed or yeah, freckles probably. Yes, that's what it is. So why do we have to get rid of them if it's considered a sign of beauty?
So basically, that's a very good question. So basically, the thing is, it's the cultural norm, or the area-wise, it's different. So in white skinned people or the fair skinned people with red hair, they have a tendency to develop small brownish spots on their face, which are known as freckles. So freckle is different from melasma.
Yes.
Melasma is a proper chaya, or you can say small brown spots, they join together to form a bigger patch on your this butterfly area. So these two cheeks and the nose, this is known as the butterfly.
Where the skin is not even even.
It's
right?
not even.
Yeah,
yes, you get dark patches.
You say khadde and things like that as well.
That is scarring.
Okay, that's
That is scarring. So pigmentation is like chaya, or you can say freckles which have joined together to form dark spots.
All right. And what's the solution for pigmentation and melasma?
Yes. So as you know, as I guess most of the people now, they're very well aware, educated, thanks to the social media. So skin is the largest organ of the body. So whatever you have inside, whatever internal issues you have, the skin is reflective of it. So the largest reason, the biggest reason for seeking advice is melasma these days, and the topmost reason for melasma is iron deficiency anemia. So in the ladies who become, like during pregnancy, they become iron deficient, and later on they develop these spots. And then the women who are on oral contraceptive drugs, because of the spacing, like they're getting injections or oral contraceptives, they develop melasma. And then there are genetic and hereditary factors as well. And above all, sun exposure. Excessive sun exposure. So all these things, they need to be, like these things we can prevent them. Iron deficiency anemia, it can be prevented. Take food rich in iron, and the best source of food is all the foods which get rusted. When you leave it, it gets rusted. So apple, bananas, peaches, they are very good source of iron.
Well, even mangoes then, no?
Even mangoes.
Because you leave them, man, and you know they're like, okay, at least they're not edible then. You know? Because, you know, just very recently, Shiza actually sent me like 2-3 petiya of mangoes as well. And, you know, so we were just worried because I kind of forgot. I kind of forgot that they were at the railway station. And then she kind of texted me. She was like, okay, you know, the rest of the petiya actually needs to go somewhere else. And I was like, hey, you know what? I actually absolutely forgot. So I'll send my driver right away. So it was after 4 or 5 days, and then we were worried whether the mangoes would be in the right condition, but they were in the perfect condition. They were all the way from Multan as well. But ma'am, since you said that, you know, it is because of the sun exposure as well, so how effective is it to use sunblock? Because a lot of people over here do not have this discipline in daily life that they do not use sunblock at all. They do not use moisturizer at all. And when it gets worse, that's when they come to you, right?
Yes, yes. It is extremely, the message is that it is extremely important to wear a sunblock. So sunblock, you can get from the market a sunblock with SPF, which means sun protective factor. When you go and purchase a sunblock for you, always look for SPF. So it should be above 30 or 60 or 100 in our setup, because the sun is very scorching. It's a very scorching, bright sun. So you need a good protection against that. So I always tell my patients to use 3 different degrees of sunblock. So number 1 is the sunblock that you are wearing in the form of cream. That is the physical sunblock or chemical sunblock, whatever. And then number 2 is that you need to put a mask on your face. Like the ladies who are under treatment for any kind of skin issues, or the gents who have this thing, or they want to protect their skin, they should be wearing a mask or like cover it. And above all, wear an umbrella. For people who have the skin issues, not for the normal people, but for the normal people, sunblock is extremely important.
It is, I think, important anyway, even if you stay at home. But ma'am, I'm going to take you back to where you categorically said do not use over-the-counter products. Now, drugstore makeup or cosmetic products for that matter, even sunblocks, are very common here and probably the easiest to get. Again, I have my reservation with that. You can correct me if I'm wrong. But is it true that if we, I mean, when we talk about drugstore products, they are definitely cheaper and a mass product. But people tend to go for cheaper things just because of the sake of saving money.
Yes.
How effective that might be for a face. I mean, face is the first thing you look at when
Imagine we even have a whitening cream which just costs you 15 or 20 rupees as,
Yes.
I mean,
as well.
what must be in
what
there?
must be in there,
Yes. And you wouldn't believe, Shehzad, that the people who have been using these over-the-counter products, the cheaper products, when they land in our clinics or in at hospital, they're in a horrible shape. They have destroyed their face. Like, it doesn't only lead to pigmentation, it would lead to at times scarring as well, which is irreversible.
Right.
So it is very important to seek a dermatologist's advice. And you know, even if you go to the Pakistan Medical and Dental Council website, so you would come to know that they have qualifications written over there. It's not only the over-the-counter products, it's the I would say the dermatologist mushrooming like anything everywhere, just by doing a 3 months course here or online course. They're like certified consultant dermatologists sitting out there knowing nothing about skin. So it's very important to know the qualifications of your dermatologist.
Right.
So there are 2 degrees that are
Required.
2 degrees that are certified with PMDC. One is the FCPS, and the other is the MD, Doctor of Medicine.
All right.
And now, like, they have also requisited the MCPS.
Right. Thank you so much for mentioning that, because it is true, it is a common practice, because everyone does sort of need a dermatologist lately, so they would just go to any without having a background check as well. Now, the next question is actually from some women in my life. When yesterday I did mention we were having a dermatologist over, this is one of the most common issues that you cannot avoid even if you want. Well, kitchen happens to be a part of our daily lives at least some point in the day. And the stove actually gives you small white bumps under your eyes. Heat generally does, even if you're working in a heated place for so long. Why does that happen, and how can we get rid of that? And it happens to, I feel like, all skin types. I don't know.
Yes, and it's unavoidable at times, yes, because being a woman, you have to go to like kitchen and be close to the stove and be close to the heat. So like, it's unavoidable. So what you can do is a bit change, you can change your lifestyle, modify it in a way that you can do frequent bathing, wash your face frequently. While you are cooking the food, keep your face away from it. Like, don't put your face into the stove.
But what if
you're
short?
But what
if you're short? You have to be on your toes to see what's happening.
Yes. So that is important, but you can use always, it's better to use a sunblock before going to the kitchen. You know, the physical sunblocks, they contain zinc oxide and titanium dioxide, minerals, which protect your skin from heat of not only the sunlight, but also the stove.
So we should wear it at home as well?
Yes.
Exactly.
Like, if you have to cook for long hours, then it's better,
So these bumps that we're talking about, if we just exfoliate, like, what happens that it goes away? Do we have to wait for a consultation with the dermatologist, or can we just do something for it?
You just do not have to cook for another 4 or 5 days.
Well, Shehzad, I wish that would happen for us.
That's a good excuse, yes. So basically, these bumps, they appear because your pores get clogged. Because of the heat and because of the sweating, pores get clogged, and then you develop these tiny small bumps which are known as milias. Best way to remove is to exfoliate every day. So you can get even over-the-counter products like alpha hydroxy acid, beta hydroxy acid, salicylic acid even. The face washes containing salicylic acid. So they're easily available, and you don't need a dermatologist.
Oh, that's wonderful. So we have finally got to a solution as well. But now, ladies and gentlemen, moving on, where Shiza actually said that she actually has a lot of women in her life. So, you know, I do not really know how it's going to sound, but I have a lot of men in my life as well. And, you know, just very recently, one of my friends actually took pictures of his hands, feet, legs, and sent them to me as well. And they were these small, I don't know how to kind of describe them, but they were these small pores which were very itchy. And once he started to itch, you know, the skin actually came off as well. It was everywhere on his body as well. And he was like, you know, what is this? So, you know, not just this. There's fungal issues with the nails as well. You know, a lot of people wearing socks over the wet feet, you know, things like that. You know, my father told me once that that's the cause but today we are asking you as well. And then there are other issues related to that.
Yes.
And do people have dry skin in this time of the year as well?
Yes.
You know, so let's focus on these three issues.
Yeah. So first of all, the nail fungus. So, or we should address your friend's pictures.
Or whatever
Okay.
you want to address.
So
first.
the nail fungus, so it is very common, and the common perception is that once you develop the nail fungus, it has to be removed.
Yeah.
It's not like that.
Okay.
You can cure it by direct intervention. So direct intervention is that basically we can understand that the fungus is under the nail.
Yeah.
So direct intervention is with the laser, which is heated up. Like this is
So it dries it up.
latest laser technology. It's very. I did my certification from Dubai in lasers and all these aesthetic courses. So there are very good lasers available. You don't have to take an oral medication for 1 year to like treat your toenail.
Yeah.
Now, just by 2 or 3 sessions of laser, you can get this nail cured. Number one, and number two, there are certain again lifestyle modification changes. Like the fungus grows in areas which are damp, so you have to like put your these shoes in the sunlight for quite a bit of time, so that they get dried up and all the molds and yeasts, they die out.
Okay.
Then there is a solution known as hydrogen peroxide, easily available. Just wet a cloth with H2O2, hydrogen peroxide, and clean the inner side of your sole.
Okay.
Because once the fungus develops, you will keep having it again and again and again. So you have to nip the evil in the bud.
Got
Yeah.
it.
So that is the thing. Then there is another very important thing, that this nail fungus can damage your toenail,
Okay.
especially if you are diabetic.
Oh, of
So
course.
in diabetics, it has to be taken care of immediately
All right.
with oral medication and also with lotions which you can apply. One message is again,
Yes.
which is like very important, that whenever you apply a lotion on your nail for nail fungus, occlude it,
What does that mean?
cover it.
Cover it.
Okay.
Cover it maybe with a polythene that is like easily available. Like cut a bandage of polythene and wrap it up.
And why is it important?
It's important for the lotion to penetrate deep into the nail plate,
Okay.
because nail plate is very hard.
Yeah, yeah.
Lotion would not penetrate, but when you occlude it, it penetrates deep.
Okay.
So the effect, instead of the effect giving results in 1 year, maybe you will get result in 2 or 3
Wow,
months.
that's wonderful. Now, moving on to the other one where, you know, people have these small pores and they
Yes.
start they itch quite a lot as
Yes,
well.
yes.
And you know, what's the difference in between an itch and a hive as well?
Okay, so this the picture that you are describing, most probably this is eczema.
Okay.
So chambal or eczema, it's very common, and most of the times it's because of the soaps which lead to dryness, or the shower gels or products that we are using.
Alright.
So like
And can it be the sanitizer in these days as well?
yes,
Okay.
yes, definitely sanitizers. So they lead to hypersensitivity, and when you become hypersensitive, even a moisturizer can damage or irritate your
True.
skin. So we have to be very selective in choosing a moisturizer if your skin is already damaged. So I would throw a question here to the audience, that if your skin is already damaged or you have a dry skin, do you know which moisturizer to use?
No, we do not know.
You should
Baby
use
lotion.
Baby lotion.
Is it? Is it?
No,
I
it's
think
not.
so. Okay, no.
No, it's
Yeah.
not. So if you have damaged or very dry skin, you should be using a cream.
A cream, yeah.
Yes.
So you should
Same
be
brand,
using
a lotion.
So you shouldn't be using a moisturizer. You should rather be using a cream. That's what you were saying.
So moisturizer.
What's the difference in between a moisturizer
So let
and
me
a
tell
cream?
you.
Yeah,
So
I
let's
just
say
feel like a dab
that's
in
the
a
reason-
bottle.
Yeah.
That's yes, exactly. Yes, a dabba in the bottle. Exactly. So lotions are available in a bottle form,
Yeah.
and they're watery. So same moisturizer, it's available in the form of a lotion, and the same moisturizer, it's available in the form of a cream.
Okay. Okay.
So same brand, like whatever brand.
So if you're super sensitive, hypersensitive,
use cream,
use cream.
dabba.
But if you're just fine, just use the lotion. You know,
Yes.
use whatever.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
All right, towards the end, just one last thing. And so food allergies are very common among a lot of people. And sometimes it does leave a mark. So someone important in my life, they never told me they were allergic
Women in
to.
her life, someone important in her life, I mean, you can name this person as
Well,
well.
okay, I'm talking about my husband, but
Wow,
I don't
that's
want to make
wonderful.
everything about him every
Oh.
day. So anyway, so he never, I don't think even he knew, he never mentioned he's allergic to, well,
Nuts?
shellfish or seafood for
Okay.
that matter.
Okay.
And this new sushi place opened, and I was like, let's go, let's go, let's go. And we went and we tried so many different things, not just that. And he develops, well, small red spots on his arm and his chest and whatnot. Some of them are gone, some of them are there, and I fear they're permanent. So what do you do in such cases?
So exactly, it's the answer of the question Shehzad
What is it?
put it up. It's the hives.
Yeah,
Basically, these are hives in a layman language, and we call it articaria with U.
Okay.
Articaria with U. U-R-T. So articaria is basically, out of 10, 9 causes are foods.
Yeah.
Like foods which can lead to these hives. Yeah. So if you know all the reasons, so should I tell?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So above all, when you are mentioning all the food allergic products, they are the food colors and the food preservatives. So like, let me give you an example. Ruh Afza, or like, I shouldn't be saying the brand, but all the like drinks or like the powdered form that we make
Formulas.
the drinks from, formulas that we are usually using in the
For
summers,
baby,
all the time. So when you put it in the water, they give you color, orange, yellow, red, whatever. Yes. So similarly, the fizzy drinks, orange, black, or these colors, so they can lead to hives, number one. Number two, food preservatives. So MSG, monosodium glutamate, it's available in almost all the spices mix that available in the market with the different brands. They contain MSG. Then processed foods, all the processed foods. Then there's certain vegetables which are found under the ground.
Yeah.
Right, like you can say carrots, turnips, even the onions and the garlic, they can also lead to hives, and other things as well. Like there are few individuals who had this with okras, that is bhindi, and even with the brinjals.
Okay.
So like you have to
assess yourself
and make a diary of yourself and do the elimination thing. Like tick mark every day that you didn't take this. Or you can write down these are the things you took and now you're developing these hives. So eliminate that.
Wow, wonderful.
Thank you
And
so
this
much.
is something which actually makes me think that she actually went to a sushi restaurant and she ended up having a lot of vegetables, or he ended up having a lot of
he's allergic to
vegetables as well.
seafood or shellfish, we later found out.
It's all right. Well, thank you very much, Dr. Attiya, for
welcome.
joining us. It was wonderful to be in conversation, and you definitely are a very learned woman, a consultant dermatologist, ladies and gentlemen. But right now, we're actually going to head out towards a short break because we will be joined by people who have the similar issues because they're traveling, they're summiting, they're going to different places, and how do they look after themselves is a very secondary thing which we'll be asking them. But the first thing and the foremost important thing is tourism in Pakistan, ladies and gentlemen. It's booming. I've been to a lot of places in Pakistan now. Finally, I can say that. So we'll have a lovely conversation. We're heading out towards a
Very short break. Stay tuned. Good morning.